Crew, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Cassandra. Today I'm taking you guys along so we can tackle a handful of smaller projects that I really wanted to get done. We're making more brown sugar. We are restocking our working pantry from our long-term food storage, and you guys are going to be coming along and we're going to make a really easy go-to sheet pan dinner. So let's go ahead and hop in and tackle as many of the things off the list that we can. Restocking my working pantry is something that I have been overlooking doing for a couple of weeks now, and it has made cooking a lot more difficult than it needs to be. One of my best tips that I have for being able to cook from scratch and make meal times a lot less stressful is having everything that you need on hand. My kitchen is very small, so we keep all of our bulk storage in the basement in these 5-gallon buckets that we have been talking about a lot in recent videos. I have these smaller containers that you see here that I keep in my working pantry upstairs. That is what I cook with on a daily basis. I was out of absolutely everything. So we went ahead and refilled our rice. We also went ahead and refilled our bread flour, which I had gotten for the very first time. I plan on doing a video coming up on making my bread recipe, one with all-purpose flour and one with this bread flour, so that we can see together, does it really make a difference? Do you really need to stock both of them? I never have in the past, but I'm really interested to see the results of that. Does the bread flour really make a better bread or a better pizza crust, things like that. So I plan on doing a couple videos like that coming up. In all honesty, it probably won't happen until after preservation season is over, heading closer into the fall, but we shall see. I also had to restock my regular flour, and I wanted to carry up a big batch of white sugar, which we also keep down here, plus my molasses, so we could get it in the KitchenAid and make a really big batch of brown sugar, because I was completely out of that. And we cannot have that. We've been trying to make cookies recently and different things, and I would go, oh, I don't have brown sugar. I need to make brown sugar. So it's really been putting a damper on our baking. But today was the day we ended that. It is time to restock some of the homemade brown sugar. I've actually really been enjoying making this. It's really simple and really easy to throw together. So it's one of those things that making on my own hasn't added like a ton of extra things to my plate like some other things can, like shooting out to make all of your homemade bread or things like that. That takes a little bit more time and a little bit more effort and a little bit more maybe determination to stick with it. This has been really nice. So I have my KitchenAid out. All I'm going to do is I filled up this pitcher full of sugar from the basement, so I didn't have to carry up my whole bucket. I'm just going to dump all of this into my mixer, drop in a couple tablespoons of my blackstrap molasses. I have gotten questions on where I have found this in bulk, and I had to go to a local Amish store to find this. This is something that I really didn't want to have shipped, because a lot of things shipping is by weight for price, and this is really heavy. But I paid $10.95 for this big old thing of molasses, and it's gonna last forever. So this was an awesome find for me. So I am just going to dump in as much as I think my KitchenAid can hold, and if I have to, we're gonna split this into 2 batches. What I'm gonna do is turn this on low and kind of let it go while I do something else, and this is gonna do all the work for me. And then, I mean, that's really it. Is done. I couldn't even unload my dishwasher in the amount of time it took for this to mix. So very quickly this comes together. You can see just how beautiful this is. If you're wanting this to be a darker brown sugar or more rich brown sugar, all you have to do is add more molasses. It's really that simple, but look at how absolutely gorgeous this is. I go through quite a bit of brown sugar just because I make my own homemade coffee creamer. Every time I mention it, I get questions on it. The recipe for it is a cup of milk of your choice. I've used a vanilla based almond milk, I've used regular milk, I've used a lactose free milk. It really doesn't matter. 1 cup heavy cream, a big old glob of brown sugar, and that is just to taste. So if you like your coffee a little bit sweeter, more brown sugar. If you like it not as sweet, less brown sugar. I like to throw in a glob of homemade caramel that I like to make by just putting condensed milk in my crock pot full of water on low for about 8 hours. It makes a really beautiful caramel. A splash of vanilla, and I just kind of let that come together on the stove, slowly simmer that just so the sugar can dissolve, and then I store it in mason jars in my fridge, and it lasts basically as long as your milk is good. So it's really simple, very easy, and absolutely delicious. I haven't bought in coffee creamer all year because I've been making my own, and it's just fantastic. I love it. So go through a lot of brown sugar because of that, but we also smoke a lot of fish. So a lot of the times we'll come home from family fishing trips, whether that be salmon, trout, or whatever, and we will marinate it in a brine, and we like our brines sweet for our smoking fish, I guess. So we go through a lot of brown sugar. We've been doing more honey in our brines and brown sugar recently, but still go through quite a lot of brown sugar for that. So now I'm going to do the exact same thing again with the other half of my sugar here. Is napping. I took a minute to brew myself an afternoon cup of coffee with my gnome Christmas cup. I went downstairs and started digging through chest freezers trying to figure out what I'm doing for dinner tonight. I did not go into this week having a meal plan. It's the last couple of days before grocery shopping, and these last couple days are always a little bit more of a challenge to figure out what I have left. But luckily there's a lot of things coming out of the garden right now, but I don't think we're gonna use any of those tonight. We are going to use up some more Brussels sprouts from last year's garden. This is my last gallon that I have. I pulled out a thing of cheese. We're not using that tonight, but I need it in my refrigerator. I used up the last bag of cheese that I had with lunch today. I also pulled out a turkey kielbasa. I think what we are going to do is a sheet pan dinner tonight. I'm gonna cut up that turkey kielbasa, put the Brussels sprouts on it. I'm going to peel and slice some carrots. Maybe I'll go down in the garden and finish picking green beans because they need to be picked. And the baby wasn't very cooperative when I went out there earlier today, so that's fine. Maybe I can go out there or send one of my bigger kids out there to go pick beans, but we'll see how that goes. If not, it's fine. The beans will still be there tomorrow. But we're gonna do those. I still have some pierogies in my refrigerator, or in my freezer rather. So I'm just gonna throw a bunch of stuff on the sheet tray and throw it in the oven. But because baby's napping right now and I am going to be on my own tonight, I wanna go ahead and prep it now while I drink my cup of coffee and everyone's having quiet time. The house is quiet. It's just gonna be much easier to prep things now. I will throw it on the sheet tray, cover it with tin foil, and just put it in the fridge. And then that way in, what time is it? Actually, I have to be ready to put dinner in the oven in about 20 minutes anyway, so by the time I'm done prepping things, I can probably just throw that bad boy right in the oven. I did not realize how late it was in the day already, so let's get going. I have not done a good sheet pan dinner in a very long time. I don't do them super often because I could eat a sheet pan dinner once a week and be totally satisfied, but I love vegetables. I love an array on my plate. So for me, because they're so easy to make and prep and they're really easy to make it in bulk, I could eat these once a week very easily and be super content. They're not my family's favorite, so we don't do them all the time, but every once in a while they're just so easy and so convenient, and these are not going to take that long to cook. I didn't realize how late it was in the day already. It's just been one of those days time got away from me, but they're really fast to throw together, and whatever my family does not eat tonight, I will use as lunches for the next couple of days. I also really like to do sheet tray dinners because you can make everything a little bit different. I can glaze these carrots and these Brussels sprouts in honey or brown sugar. I could do my carrots in honey or brown sugar and then take my Brussels sprouts here and drizzle them in some ranch seasoning to make them a little bit different. So I love these, but you can tell these are starting to show signs of being in the freezer just a hair too long, but they have been in the freezer almost a year. So this is my last bag. So we're gonna get these on as well. I'm not gonna do a lot of Brussels sprouts because I'm the only one that'll eat them. So we're just gonna make it a point to make sure that I'm using these up over the next couple of dinners here, just to make sure we're really going through all of it. I have some pre-sliced onions here. I'm going to throw these on this tray, and then I'm going to finish cutting the rest of this onion. And I'm going to put my kielbasa, my pierogies, and these onions all together on my sheet tray. And then I'm going to keep my Brussels sprouts and my carrots separate. Because I do want to glaze these with honey. We got a really beautiful local honey recently. My husband just picked it up yesterday actually, and I've been putting a tablespoon in my coffee to help with my allergies that happen this time of year, and it's been wonderful. I love kielbasa because they're so quick to cook. I'm actually going to throw this on my sheet tray just like this, right over those beds, or that bed of onions. Now I'm just going to drizzle everything with a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to hit everything with just salt and pepper. Set my oven to 375, and I'm just gonna throw it in and let it cook, and that's really all there is to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope wherever you are having a fantastic day, and I will catch you guys in another one.